Corey Haim and Corey Feldman are giving out their personal numbers. If you call 1-900-909-3700, you can listen to their private phone messages and get their personal number where you can leave them a message of your own. $2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Ask your parents before you call. 1-900-909-3700.
If you call me right now, I'll give you my private number.
You call that number, and you'll hear a recording, and I'll give you my personal number if you call that, and we'll wrap.
Foolish friends, Freddy Krueger is on your phone. Dial this number now. I've got some tales to tell. Freddy's favorite bedtime stories. Bedtime stories. All brand new. Straight from my boiler room to your home. It's Freddy Krueger on your phone. So dial this number now if you dare. Tell him Freddy sent you.
$2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Children, get your parents' permission before you dial.
You did too much.
The podcast started in this room way before the microphones went unmuted. Everybody, welcome to the Three Geeks Podcast. Justin and Max are arguing over how many movies should be in their festival.
I was clarifying. Max was confused.
Yeah, I do, because I'm the hardest working podcaster here. I did extra. And
also the biggest liar.
Biggest liar? I don't know. That's debatable.
Today we got a fierce competition between Mike and Dan pitching a horror remake to The Wizard of Oz, which I cannot wait to see what this turns into. Wizard of Oz is my favorite movie of all time. I even like the already horrific Return to Oz, so I'm really curious what these guys
with Franco
pitch. No. This is with
see, that's how you know you're a fan. Do you like the Franco movie?
I do like the Franco movie. It's not my favorite. I have not revisited it very much, but I have enjoyed it. It's not.
Also, I think I missed the horror part, but that's okay.
Yeah, that one's not horrific. Return to Oz.
No.
Horrific.
Of my remake.
Oh.
Oops.
Oh, well.
Get ready for two completely different pitches.
There you go.
From Don't Fuck With the Original, we have Casper. How you doing today? You there?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, good. Fantastic.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Max likes your
yeah,
Twitter
I usually go by Chucky's side chick, but for the podcast, I'm Casper. Yeah.
I mean, like, are you happy with that? I found a lot of side chicks trying to get like main chick benefits. Are you cool being the side chick? Or are you angling for a way in?
The main chick benefits. This is an insurance company.
It's more of a sidekick. It's more of a sidekick kind of thing, because people are always like, well, what about Tiffany? And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't necessarily like Chucky like that, so it's more of a sidekick.
Cool.
We have a lot of stuff coming up on the show today. I do have two news topics, and we're actually going to get to the news topics real quick because I keep putting them in the description, and people ask me, you guys never spoke about that. That's because we go on tangents, and we forget about the topics.
Because Jason's horrible at his job.
Just the worst.
No, because
Jason is the worst cat wrangler of all time.
The note I always get from Dan is to let you guys rant. So I let you guys do this. If you're watching us live, send in the comments. Let us know what your horrific Wizard of Oz movie would be, or horror comedy. That's a thing, too.
Or your regular remake of Wizard of Oz, apparently. From
Yeah.
Just keep
because why not?
Man, Facebook is slow today. I'm trying to share this link everywhere, and it just is not doing it for me. So, news topics. Movie theaters. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to be around?
It's not a good look right now. But you know, like these are the times we live in. There, the whole thing was set up for a lot of people being able to gather in one place.
Business model.
So yeah, and then like when you get to an AMC or or a Regal, like they're really counting on a lot of people all over the country coming to their theaters. So it's not a good look right now. I don't know if they can, if they can get a bailout like the airplane companies, but I don't think so. So it's just not a good look. No, they didn't try to reach, like they're not buying up all the drive-in theaters or trying to make their theaters drive-in theaters right now.
Also, technically, movie theaters aren't an essential business.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're not going to be priority.
I'm just surprised. Like AMC,
and that really sucks too, because like there's movies that I would rather see in a movie theater than go to a drive-in. Like in certain movies, like I'll never forget the experience I had when I went and saw Avengers. So there's certain movies you need to see in a movie theater, and it really sucks that we may be going to where there aren't any anymore.
Yeah, the good news is the smaller theaters should actually do better now, just because like there's less, they've leased less property, and there's less stuff for them to kind of have to shed dead weight. So like you might still have your smaller theaters, they might see an influx, but for the big chain companies, it's just not looking good. Like there's just no way, there's no way to do it.
It's a shame though, because AMC, and I don't think theaters are going to ever completely go away, but I think there's a good chance the theaters like AMC and Regal especially, I think are done. I don't think they're going to be around in 2-3 years. But I'm surprised like AMC hasn't taken this time to try to refocus and open the drive-ins, because a drive-in theater, it doesn't take a lot to open. You got to get a screen, you got to get a small place for
parking.
Yes, parking.
It's a parking
concessions.
And concessions. And I'm just surprised they haven't tried yet, because AMC you're be able to get ahead of the curve on this one.
The projector for that is going to be your biggest price. That and actually getting the movies there, because that whole rental of the film and then paying them 90% of the box office for the first week totally sucks.
I mean, but it's a deal that like they gotta try. They gotta okay, we're trying to get your movies out. You can't rape us on the movie price. So that
dude, you're always going to get raped on the movie prices. Well, that's how it works.
Now times are obviously different. If the movie theaters close down, then the Hollywood has no place to send their movies to. So it's video on demand.
$29.99 on Disney Plus.
But no, I'm already done with that. They got me on Mulan. That's the last fucking time. Like not happening again. That's it. No, you had your chance. You had one chance to do something, and you fucked me. So that's not ever happening again. You screwed it up for everybody.
But dude, you were buying Mulan for $30. I mean, I gotta say,
it was the only live action one I wanted to see. I spent the money. I mean, I can't undo that. But you're not getting me again. I'm not doing it again, because if you're gonna put out a crap movie and charge me $30 for it, then you can eat a dick. Like that is not gonna happen again. Maybe if it was Tenet or something.
Well, Mulan. Apparently, Disney Plus has said Mulan will be cheaper in December, so I was like, okay, I'll wait. So I'm waiting until December. Hopefully, it is cheaper, because I do want to see it.
Look,
$20
until that shit is free. Do not pay for that fucking movie.
Right, $20.
Yeah, no, don't even. It's if it's anything over $5, it's not worth your time. I'm telling you right now. Don't do it. It's just
in the same vein, though. Upon my second viewing of Aladdin, I kind of liked it.
I liked the remake.
But how much did you pay for both viewings?
$0.
Exactly,
because you gave it to me and then you didn't want it back, so I have it.
Right. So don't waste money. Don't waste.
So it may have costed you something for me to see Aladdin, but it didn't cost me anything. So
no, that's the perks of working.
There you go. Have someone else get it for you.
Yeah. Perfect.
So No Time to Die was explored to streaming services. Like they wanted to put the new James Bond movie out there, but they wanted $600 million for a streaming service to purchase a movie, which I understand the price tag because it would probably exceed that if it went to theaters. But we're in a different time, guys. Like, I think right now these studios should be happy to recoup their money. And I don't know why they're trying to just sell it to Netflix. Why not put it on VOD? VOD makes the most sense to me.
Greed. It's just greed.
I mean, I rarely went to movies before this happened, so I'm not going.
Yeah, I stopped going to movie theaters like way before COVID happened, just because I can't deal with movie theater crowds because they're annoying as shit. So I'm really indifferent to the state of movie theaters right now. So
it sucks. It sucks for me because I
remember going to see.
Go ahead.
I remember going to see The Lazarus Effect, and me and one of my friends went to go see it, and there was a whole row of teenage girls that were just wasted. So that was terrible. That experience was absolutely terrible. Screaming and jumping and everything, and I was like, that wasn't even scary. I'm gonna need y'all to calm down. So I agree with the crowds at times.
The Linux in Columbus seems to be the teenager theater.
Yeah, I love going to the theater. I don't mind when I have a shit crowd because I don't mind yelling at people. So, but I do really enjoy going to the theater. So it sucks right now. The good point about going to the theater now is there's not usually anyone in the theater. Yeah.
I mean, you'll have that when you've got to lever the door open to get in. So
well, no, it's because you can pre-order the seats, right? So you can see how many people are in the theater or how many people are gonna be there. And then if it gets to be too much, you just cancel your tickets. That's what I enjoy now. But every time I've gone, I've been to the theater 3 times since COVID. And there's only been 2 people in the theater. When we had our own private showing of a movie, there were more people. That's the most people I've seen in the theater since COVID hit.
Pick the worst movie of the year to watch.
Oh God, it was good. Bad. It was good times. It's good to watch a bad movie with friends.
It was good.
I'm the only one who didn't absolutely hate it.
It was rough.
Welcome to Animaniacs, everyone.
So there's not very many.
That's true. There's not a lot of competition.
I will miss if theaters go out of business, the different kind of special environments, like the Lord of the Rings, the different things like that. When you have a large group of people that have seen the movie before, they interact with it. I saw The Room with Tommy Wiseau, the director was actually in the theater too. You throw spoons and do a whole bunch of fun things like that. So.
I will miss theaters 100%, but I don't think they're I don't think theaters as a concept is going anywhere.
Oh, sure.
But I think the AMCs and stuff, because they're not being proactive. They have parking lots right now that they could literally throw screens into.
Well, but again, it's the projector.
Yeah, I know.
You
modifications, but they've got the property.
Right. Yeah, it's whatever.
If we can break up big business, even if it's movies, I'm all for it.
And I think the few smaller theaters that are locally mom and pop theaters or whatever owned by smaller companies. I think they'll be fine just because they don't have the overhead of the big companies. But
and they're getting creative. Cinemark was ahead of the curve when they started renting the screens out. AMC is doing it now, but they're charging a little bit more.
But yeah, it's not a good look. Hopefully they figure something out. But it's definitely not a good look. But I mean, I went and saw Tenet. Yeah, exactly. What was that? Can you put that back up?
Yep, My Pets Are Weird says late stage capitalism doesn't allow room for reimagining business models, so we'll probably be suffering for a while in regards to entertainment venues. My Pets Are Weird. We missed you last week. Welcome back to our viewing.
Do we get a pie chart and graph and stuff?
Yeah. Just the greed. Again, once they get greedy and it puts you on a precipice. So they've fallen.
Yeah, of course.
And hopefully we don't suffer too much for it. But
hopefully there's a business model. There's a back in Indiana where I was born. There's a local Strand theater that's community owned, right? So once a year they do a donation drive just to keep the operating costs, and they do it once a year, and they pay for it the rest of the year.
Right.
So they just do a movie. They charge $3 to go see a movie.
Yeah.
So last week you guys heard our hideous lineups for concerts, except for Mike's. Mike's was pretty good. I would love to see the New Radicals. But Mike and I are going to go to a showing in Jersey once all this stuff opens back up. But today we're going to go with our worst festival movie lineups. So pretend theater is open again and we get to go to our festival. And we're going to come up with the worst festival ever. My Pets Are Weird says, good to be back, Dan. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Not a problem, sir.
Museum on late stage capitalism.
Yes.
I never go first on these things, and I'm not going to start today. Casper, you're our guest, so I'm going to let you tell us what your 3 movie festival would be for the worst.
Wait, first one.
Just the first one? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
just give us one.
Just the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Or number 3.
I decided to go with horror for obvious reasons. I was literally trying to think now in general. I don't have a clue. So horror, my first pick would be The Turning.
That's the most recent version of Turn and the Screw, right?
Oh God. Okay.
Besides Haunting of Bly Manor. Yeah.
Yeah. Besides
yes,
that one, yeah. It's got that one kid from Stranger Things.
That movie. Finn Wolfhard, and it had no ending, and it was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my life, to be honest.
Okay.
And I saw it in a movie theater. Had to pay. I paid for it. Went to a movie theater to see it, and like literally at the end of the movie, everybody went, "What?" Like everybody stayed until the credits, just because we were like, "Is it over? Is that it?" Because the movie climaxed.
They're like, wait, the movie's done?
That's exactly what happened. The movie climaxed, and then the credits started rolling, and I was like, and one of the best reviews I ever saw for the movie was one of the best reviews I saw of the movie was someone said, "This movie was great. And that was it. And I died laughing because I was like, that was the film. Like the movie, it had no ending. There was nothing there.
Eric.
So I don't know. Hello. So yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do with that film, but they wrecked it, and it's got like a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it deserves it.
Nice.
Justin, what is your first film showing at this multiplex of festivals?
This might be recency biased because I just watched a bunch of Highlander movies, but Highlander 2. I hate Highlander 2. Oh,
we are going to have a talk someday, sir.
You like it, Dan? Are you a fan, Dan?
Yes.
I
yes. It is an awful movie, and I love it.
I'm glad you like it.
No, Dan is
I just can't.
And he loves.
They're aliens? Why can't they just be immortals?
Why not? What?
Wait, do they time travel in that movie?
Yes.
Back, yeah.
That's the worst. Time travel is the worst.
I remember
anything that's time travel or space.
Oh.
I mean, space can be good. Space can be good.
Besides Star Wars.
Depends on the
Besides
use.
Star Wars.
Space can be good, but
yeah,
time travel is always just the worst plot device.
It's number 3 on my list just because it could be just because I watched it like 2 weekends ago, but it was real bad.
My friend of the show, Amit, he used to make me watch these Highlander movies all the time. I remember he wanted to watch Highlander 2 and 3 so bad that his family got a video card just to rent Highlander movies. Like that's the only thing he ever rented from the video store. And I don't remember Highlander 2 being bad, but I haven't seen these movies in probably 30 years.
You must have blocked that from your memory.
Yeah.
Like, traumatized from it, and you can't even remember.
I would have been like 7 or 8 when I watched it. So it.
Did it ever attack you like they can only do one, trying to take your head?
No. No, Amit never attacked me.
The Renegade cut was slightly better, but yeah. I mean, Highlander 2's pretty damn bad. No, it's not.
Look, my piece of shit is polished now.
Yes, indeed.
It sparkles. Mike, what is your?
Well, I'm just going to share my theme as well here too, because I did have a theme with all these, because these are movies probably none of you have really heard of, perhaps. This is the theme. You're not as clever as you think you are. So
oh boy.
My third movie that I would use for this is called Hotbot from 2016. It's basically Weird Science except dumb and annoying, and Danny Masterson's in it, and I hate it.
Danny Masterson, he's kind of a POS.
Is that Hyde?
Yeah. Hyde from That 70 Show. Well, he's an absolute POS, but I hate it, and not just because he's in it. I will say it broke my heart a little bit because Donald Faison from Scrubs and Angela from The Office are in it, and they are trying. But other than that, they're the only two that actually like try, because it's just Weird Science, and it sucks. And you're not as clever as you think you are, because Weird Science did it better. Yeah, they're trying.
I know what Hotbot is. I've heard of it. I have never seen it.
Don't.
But I'm sorry, you guys are all wrong, because the worst movie on my list, my first showing that I'm going to let everybody enjoy, is Generation X, the movie.
Wasn't that made for TV?
Okay.
It's still a movie.
Yeah.
It's still a movie.
Okay, but that was made for TV.
It is a bad movie. Has anybody seen this besides myself and Dan?
I've seen it.
Yeah. I like that I get put in there because of course I've seen the bad movie.
It's got Matt Frewer in it. It's like an X-Men movie without any of the characters you've heard of except for Banshee.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. I loved it when I was a kid. I was so mad I didn't get a second episode, but I got it at a Comic-Con recently. It's also got 2 uses of the word fuck in it, which is random for a Generation X movie. But I got it at one of the Comic-Cons, and I watched it, and it is it's one of the worst things ever made. Matt Frewer is chewing up the scenery, and he's trying to do something. Good Jim Carrey impression a little bit in that movie, but the movie is really, 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 really not good. And I like all of the X-Men movies that Fox made except for 2. So that says a lot.
I would argue that Matt Frewer was Jim Carrey before Jim Carrey, but
that's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. But I was familiar with Jim Carrey first when I watched it originally.
Max Headroom?
I had not seen it until more recently.
Okay, fair enough.
Except for on Back to the Future. Max, what is your first one?
Number 3 for me, taking it back to Dan. Dan, you're going to be aware of this one. Batman Ninja.
Oh, yeah.
Batman Ninja.
Oh.
Who hurt Dan to make all these?
I'm telling you, he's a masochist. Like, Batman Ninja was of all the movies of all the crap movies we watched on Animaniacs, this one takes the cake for me, especially because it's Batman. Like they're like, oh, we're gonna do an anime Batman. I was like, yes, I'm in. This is gonna be awesome.
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
You get the title Batman Ninja, and it inspires awesome. I mean, because how could this go wrong? and the answer is every way possible.
When you're 10,000 monkeys making a giant Batman, you're like, I don't think this is good. You're gonna sit through Batman Ninja first. Terrible movie. It's horrible. It's not just. I could say all of the things that make this movie bad, like all the completely ridiculous freaking things that make this movie terrible. And you're like, how did they cram it all into one movie? So I mean, I guess they get that accomplished, where it's just so bad on every level. But it is the worst Batman anything I've seen in my life.
Jim Blaylock, welcome back to the show. He says Matt Frewer also played the bad guy in the Generation X movie back in the mid-90s. Yep. But Dan's like me, though. I was surfing through Amazon the other day because I watched Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and it recommended all these weird movies. And one of them was like God, what is wrong with me? A Sloppy Joe sandwich eating people, or Santa Jaws, or Clownado. I saved them all to my.
See, just you watch one movie and you just jump down that rabbit hole, man. Like,
Dude, I want to see
it's
Clownado.
fine.
I've seen Sharknado. Why not Clownado?
Yeah. I mean,
because you have some sense. Because you have some decency.
No.
That is like face paint in a whirlwind.
Who hasn't? Who hasn't wanted to see a Sloppy Joe eat somebody? I have. Now that I know that it's out there, I want to see it.
Nope.
Speaking of Dan, what is your first movie that you're showing at this festival?
Well, this will be good.
Okay, I just made up a bunch of movies, and I've thought about this for about a week. So just my first one is Terrence Malick's Independence Day. Because I want to see him try and do a simple plot, because that's going to be hilarious.
No, here's what it is, man. The aliens come, we kill them. That's all we really need.
Yeah.
Okay. And what if there's?
But it's going to be like okay. You know, Terrence, we just need him to do this. The plane needs to fly into the alien spaceship, right? And he's like, but what about like past generations, and how will this affect everything? And we need to have a beautiful montage. And it's like, no, just fly the plane into the spaceship.
What about all the planes that came before it? I mean, but like to what might be in his movie is like one of the original ideas was to have Randy Quaid fly the crop duster plane with a bomb duct tape to the bottom of it. So like,
they have that deleted scene on the Blu-ray.
Like they actually.
Oh God.
Not a shade, Randy Quaid.
So maybe that guy got fired from the job. Fired.
That is
Yeah, that's an imagination that we're not going to see.
Thank you.
I guess
that's the best praise that I can get there. It's just
I don't know.
That's what I'm going for, people.
I kind of want to see it.
You two deserve each other.
We do, Dan.
Oh.
The line of the movie is, "Hey boys, I'm back."
He is back. He's playing Santa Claus this year. All right. Anyway, Casper, what is your second one?
My second pick is probably something not a lot of people have seen, but it's called The Chosen, and it is a terrible plot, terrible effects, terrible acting, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
What's kind of the premise of it?
Yeah,
Were they chosen?
It's basically about. I haven't seen it in so long. I just remember I never went again. Like after I watched it the first time, because I was like, I can't ever. Basically, this family was being haunted by a witch to do with like children, and children were part of the plot, but I can't remember exactly what the plot was because I literally almost turned it off. It was that terrible because the effects were so bad. Like a ghost would appear and it looked like somebody threw up a projector. Like it was awful.
All right, so I don't
the acting. They would be like, "Oh no." What?
I said I don't think I pulled up the right one because the one I got, it says in 1944 in Brooklyn, two Jewish kids become friends. So I don't
that ain't it, bro.
Sounds equally terrible.
No. I'm sure it was. No, it is. Wow, it's not even popping up on IMDb. That's bad. Okay, there we go.
That's how bad
it's this one.
Wow.
It's scrubbing it from existence.
Okay.
It's this one.
Gotcha.
A child-stealing demon attaches itself to a little girl, and her family is thrust into a battle against time in order to save the girl and send the demon back to hell.
I wonder if they got sued from it.
It's awful. Right?
That's kind of the plot of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
And this was made in 2015, too, so this was clearly made
Ouch.
after it.
These are demons.
And have that. The terrible effects it had to be made in 2015, like, you shouldn't have even used effects. You should have actually just done prosthetics by this point.
It's like freaking
was just
X-Men
a
Origins
terrible
Wolverine
movie.
was better
but
without the
people-
special effects.
Yep.
Yes.
100% better. Justin, what's your second one?
So I was thinking while we did our first lap here, that Mike had a theme, and I think my theme is movies Justin desperately wanted to be good. Because my next one on the list is Robin Hood with Jamie Foxx and that
Taron Egerton.
Thank you. I wanted that movie to be good so badly. I took Cam, our friend Cam, to the theater. I made him go with me. I was like, "We're going to watch this. It's going to be great." I hated the whole experience. I was like, I wanted to. I did not like
that.
it.
Is interesting to me.
I did not like
I
it.
did not.
Cam didn't like it either. He was talking through the whole thing. He was just looking at me and just saying, "Why'd you bring me to this?" I get it.
It wasn't good.
It
But
wasn't
I didn't hate it like that.
I love Jamie Foxx. I love Etherington. I enjoy all those people, but it just
I'm not a huge Jamie Foxx fan.
I am.
But he was bad. The movie wasn't good. But I did like the action sequence. I like the bow and arrow action that they had.
Sure, but the acting part of it was.
Like the movie was bad, but like I at least had that. I was like, well, that was cool how they did that. So that's what I took away from it.
Sure.
But that's funny to me that you.
It just hurt me. Like I was waiting for it halfway through. I was like, this isn't going to get good. And Cam was like, "Why did you bring me?" I was like, "I don't know anymore."
Well, I mean, I have the movie pass. Like, I pay $20 a month. I go to the movies as much as possible. So, like, when I see bad movies, it's not like, "Oh, I fucking paid $15 for it." It's like it was already paid for. I just went and saw it. So maybe that's why I didn't hate it as much.
Like, you have a sunk cost already.
Yeah,
like, this is free for me.
Right. So that's probably what it was. Because if I would have paid to go see it and like,
I remember leaving angrier than when I came in. I was like, this isn't for me.
That's funny. I like that.
Mike, what is your second movie?
My second movie is the Happy Time Murders, the puppet buddy cop one.
I couldn't get myself to watch that.
No, me either.
Don't bother. It's like, hey, Roger Rabbit. Hey, every other buddy cop movie is funnier than this. Hey, oh wow, they use what was it?
Silly String.
Silly String for Ejaculate.
One, right? Yes.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy's in it, partnered up with a Muppet. I will give it this: the puppetry is good, but I mean, that's what I expect going into a high budget film like this. Is at least you'll be on top of your puppetry, but that's not enough to save it. So yeah, Happy Time Murders is my number 2.
Agreed, Jim. Sorry, just go back to the Robin Hood thing.
I'm going to pull it up. Calm down, Justin.
I'm just still angry.
Jim says Taron Egerton as Robin Hood was just as bad as Charlie Hunnam as King Arthur.
Charlie Hunnam was in King Arthur than Taron Egerton was.
They were both bad, but we can keep going.
I think the King Arthur movie was worse, but they're both terrible.
All right, my second feature, and for some reason I had high hopes with this. I've liked two of the things Adam Sandler has done on Netflix, Murder Mystery and his stand-up special.
Sorry,
what's that?
No, I just see Mike's face drop.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just like, you're expecting Sandler to be good. Is just kind of funny.
Well,
this is very true.
It had Adam Sandler and Chris Rock, and I've liked most of the stuff they've done together, except for Grown Ups 2. And so the week of, I was kind of excited to see it, and that movie was atrocious. I was reviewing it for 3 Geeks, so I forced myself to watch it because I will not review a movie I've only seen partial the way through. Otherwise, I would have turned it off in the first 12 minutes. Sandler does that obnoxious voice that I hate.
Which
Same
one?
QB Halloween and Jack and Jill. It's just the week of. Not even Chris Rock could save it. He was even stupid in that movie. So there's nothing more I can say. I hate it. I hate it.
I think. I'm sorry. Just back to the dude's
What was the movie? It must have cut off when you said the name of it. What was the name of it?
The week of.
Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay.
It's a Netflix.
Cut off when you said the name of it. I was like,
how do I know to avoid this?
Yeah.
Yes, you don't.
You could have just been like, insert Adam Sandler movie here.
Yeah, pretty much. Any of them.
I mean, I love the old school, like Waterboy, Billy Madison.
He had a string of hits.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
You can't touch those for Sandler for me. They're dumb.
Those were good, yeah.
But I love those movies. But a lot of Adam Sandler is more missed than hit,
especially lately. But I have like 2 of the Netflix things, so I didn't want to completely say.
Dude, fucking Uncut Gems was good. You liked it?
I did.
Shitty.
Yeah, Mike liked it too.
No.
I haven't
Good
seen it yet.
filmmaking, good acting.
It was good acting, yeah.
I disagree.
But is it a good movie? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's just it's an uncomfortable movie, and that's why a lot of people probably didn't too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's well
like,
made.
I hate spending 2 hours without somebody I can like. So
92%.
Well, that's the thing. That's a subsection of movies. Movies without protagonists. That's a thing. So
yeah.
The general populace.
It's just a sad, grim, dark place.
All right, Max, what is movie number 2?
All right, we are going Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the worst of the prequels.
That's my favorite Star Wars film. Get out of here.
that you think that's worse than Attack of the Clones?
Oh.
Well,
no.
Yeah, I do think it's worse.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is hands down my favorite prequel.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There's
it's
no
my favorite. Besides Force Awakens, it's my favorite Star Wars film. I'm so sad.
I apologize for your priorities, but
you were supposed to save the movie.
This has got the worst showing of Darth Vader. It's like no villains are good. There's the one shining moment in that to me was the Obi-Wan Anakin lightsaber fight, and it would have been good except it carries on, and I've got the high ground. So no, that's that's what gets it for me. Revenge of the Sith was fucking terrible.
I think that's a hot take to say that's the worst prequel.
Kid Max's face.
I mean,
whatever.
I'd say it's the worst prequel. Or no, it's the best prequel one for me.
Yeah,
because
I like
of the young
Attack of the Clones is the worst.
The love story in Attack is so bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no. The first prequel is my least favorite.
The first Phantom Menace with Darth Maul, the Star Wars villain since Darth Vader.
I agree with
Dan.
Yeah,
Darth Maul's in it for 15 minutes, but you get half an hour of pod racing and some little kid awkward ass lines like "Are you an angel?" No, it's not a fucking angel. Okay, thank you.
None of the other movies even have that. They all have the shitty dialogue. They all have the shitty everything else. But Phantom Menace is the only one that uses actual people and actual sets. It doesn't look like the fucking weatherman is walking the fuck all around everywhere. Like no,
and it's still boring as hell.
It's raining.
Well, I would rather have a whiny 20-year-old than a whiny. Well, I don't know, fucking 8-year-old.
Anakin Skywalker stays whiny the whole time. It doesn't matter if he's a child or a grown ass man.
But at least in Revenge of the Sith, he's killing children.
they don't show him murdering the children. Okay, Revenge of the Sith would have taken it from me.
At least we have that, yes.
Revenge of the Sith would have taken it from me if they show Anakin cut through an entire room of children. I would have enjoyed the movie then because they would have given me something that none of the other Star Wars movies could have given me. Child murder. Yes. Murder that annoying little shit. Okay.
All right, Max. Danny says, "I love you, Max."
Danny,
and then Jim's comment on Uncut Gems was it was 2 hours of him cussing and the dangers of addiction.
Yeah. There you go. It's like a really, really long public service announcement.
Now let's get back to cussing about Star Wars.
Yes.
Hey, dude. Sorry.
Number
2, Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith.
You know what was sad is when Dan reminded me we were doing this list. I'm like, we're not going to get Hot Take Orlando. Looks like our Hot Take Orlando has been channeled through Max today.
Okay, no, whatever. I was on this podcast before Hot Take Orlando. Okay? I was hating shit way before that.
Yeah, I gotta say,
Max is full of hate. I can't confess.
Max is doling out pearls of hate way before we got jumped.
Oh yeah, yes. Okay. So whose turn was it?
It's yours.
Oh shit. Okay. Look at the second one in my fake sci-fi film festival. Jupiter Ascending 2, Exit the Matrix, with special guest Speed Racer.
Oh, damn. Is it animated?
No.
until the 10,000 Batman monkeys show up.
Hold on. The important question is, just John Goodman reprise his role from Speed Racer?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course he does.
I want to go see that movie, Dan. I don't think that belongs in the worst film festival.
Well, here's the thing. Like I really like Speed Racer. I'm like the only person who liked that movie. But I mean, Jupiter Ascending was crap, and so was the end of the Matrix. So if we squish them all together, at least you get Speed Racer driving around doing really fast trails.
But
you push a bunch of crap together, you get a pile of crap, man.
So far, I'm buying a ticket
with Speed Racer on top.
Does Speed Racer learn Kung Fu at some point in time?
Sure.
The Matrix, we learn it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm buying a ticket to Dance Festival. It's great. Casper, what's your last one? What's your feature movie?
Slenderman.
Okay.
The Slenderman that made back in, that was like recent. I think it was like 16 or 17. The movie was absolutely done in terrible taste because of the real life event that happened.
Yeah.
The movie was also not even the correct Slenderman lore, so they ruined that. The acting was terrible. The effects were terrible. The way that they call on Slenderman was wrong. The whole thing was ruined. And I actually really like Slenderman. So, like, not the movie. I like the creepypasta of Slenderman.
The idea of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I saw that movie. Not impressed. Justin.
It was also
awful.
edited to high
Again,
hell as
paid
well.
for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was way too edited. Like they probably could have done prosthetics with that and made it look pretty cool. They didn't need to CGI him everywhere.
No,
but yeah, I also paid for that movie, so there's more money I can't get back.
Yeah, see, they followed the George Lucas book of movie making, which is if you can CG it, go ahead and do it.
Yes, you don't need people.
Yeah, that looks great. Let's just keep going.
Justin, what's your main attraction?
Also a movie I dragged a friend to, the newest Hellboy, because I am just like, damn. They merged so many stupid plot points, and they got rid of Ron Perlman, who I loved, and Guillermo del Toro.
Ron Perlman as Ted Danson.
To form a pile of crap with David Ayers, right? Because you gave me a King Arthur story in Hellboy, but they can just shove it.
Yeah,
real bad.
I like the dude from Stranger Things. Did you say something? No.
Yeah, you know David. His name is David. David Arbor. Am I saying his name?
Arbor. Yeah.
Arbor. I say his name wrong.
I like him.
I love Ian McShane too. Like I thought we would be good.
Yeah,
but it was not good.
The
story was it wasn't even the acting.
Right.
It was the story.
The first Hellboy movie is so good. I'm not a huge fan of the second one, but it like I would obviously watch Hellboy 2 over Hellboy 3.
I just wanted to see the end of the trilogy too. The fact that they did this movie and didn't finish
the storyline,
Perlman and the whole. I wanted to see that.
There's a reason. There's a reason for it. Guillermo del Toro wants $300 million to make a Hellboy 3, but the first two movies didn't even make close to that.
Well, how much did it cost to make this piece of shit? Because I bet a budget of $50 million. All right. Yeah. Here we
That's
are.
why
they still lost money on this movie.
Well, no, but like it's working within your, like some of the best movies like are not high budget, like and figuring, working within their constraints to make a good movie, and it's not impossible to do. But yeah, and
the Golden Army one with Del Toro still made $80 million. it profit. This one lost them $6 million. Yeah. So give me $80 million over that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, anytime you can get Guillermo del Toro, obviously.
I mean, you should just shower the man in wealth. It's fine.
I will at least give him $5 from my pocket.
Yes, please.
That's
here, Mr.
$5 less.
I will buy you a sandwich and a Coke.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Mike, what is your feature presentation?
Laquisha.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
I remember you ranting about this movie. What was it about again? Because I don't remember the plot.
Oh, God. Damn it, Jason.
Yeah.
So it's about this guy. It's about this guy who's like a bartender and stuff. And he's like, I'm not satisfied with my job or not happy with my life. And like, he's going through a divorce and things like that, as far as I can recall. And someone's like, hey, you should be a radio DJ. And so he starts recording his thoughts and being like, hey, could this sell on the radio or whatever? And the people are like, nah, we don't really want to hear from another white guy DJ. And so instead he impersonates over the radio a black lady and calls himself Laquisha. And he does like a horrible, horrible racist black woman voice, which is clearly just a dude doing a horribly racist black woman voice. And then it gets to a point where he's like, wait a minute, am I actually a black woman living in a white guy's body? You know, or is this who I really am? Is this my truth? I'm like, no, it's not your truth. You're a white dude. You're a white dude who's trying to profit off of a marginalized community. You're an asshole. Fuck you and fuck this movie. And it's supposed to be like Hallmark type of like endearing and sweet and funny. It's not. And the production is like $5. The production.
Man, that just
like
sounds like a
$5.
royal fuck up, is what that sounds like. Good lord.
Oh, it is. It is absolutely a royal fuck up. He has a black love interest who's like, what, you know, and she thinks like he's weird. He's being weird and stuff. He's like, no, I just feel as though I'm a black woman trapped in a white man's body. He'll love me. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. This isn't funny. It's pretty horrible.
Sorry to make you relive that, Mike, but I figured you'd rather just tell us than me pull up the trailer.
Yeah, thanks.
At least I didn't pull up the trailer this time.
Yeah, if you pulled up the trailer, I would have like chucked my laptop across the yeah.
How do like 10 people? You know, it's not easy to get a movie made. You know, like it takes a lot of work, and you got to wheel and deal, and you know you're trying to scrape money together, and yada yada yada. How is it that 9 people in a room decided, yep, this is the movie to make?
I can tell you.
Because, yeah.
Go for it. The answer? Tyler Perry movies work. Let's try it with a white guy.
Yeah, but the dude who stars in it, directed it, wrote it, financed it. It's his pet project. He surrounded himself with black people who were just like, we'll work for the paycheck. Sure. He got a black woman to impersonate Laquisha, and the third act, like, reveal of the lesson is he's like, I think I finally understand what it means to be, you know, a black woman to a black woman. I'm just like, she says something to the effect of like, I think you're a better black woman than I could ever be. And I'm like, what the fuck is this movie?
The fun part of this is not
the more
only
you talk about this movie, the more stressed I'm getting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
I'm like,
yeah, I don't get offended often, like actually offended.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, like that's not my character. Like, I'm not the guy that like to pull out like, oh, you know, like I'm a black guy. I'm mad at black things. Like. It takes a lot to actually offend me. That's I'm glad I haven't seen it. It seems offensive.
On top of that, it's just lame. It sucks.
Right. Yeah.
It's not even supposed to. It's not. If it was like supposed to be an outrageous, like raunchy comedy that's meant to provoke and be controversial, it even sucks at that. So it's like whatever.
But I mean, like at the end of the raunchy movie, when he's like, "I think I understand what it's like to be a black woman," he gets beat up by 15 black people. Like that would be what happens to him.
Jumped in. Like,
yeah. Well, no, like the click for me was especially like when she said, I think you're a better black woman than I ever have been. Ooh. I'm like, you wrote that for somebody to say. I'm like, that is horrible.
In other news, Donald Trump will be starring in the remake after he's president. All right. Yes. So my number 3 is the
I think you're never going to get political. This is why I'm going to want to cast with you.
All right, so my number 3 is the Hungover Games. I watched it 3 days ago. I knew it was going to be bad, but something about the concept of this being a spoof in better hands, I think could work. But I'll get into what the plot of the movie is. So if maybe the guys who did Airplane took this concept and ran with it. So the concept is there's the Hangover or the Hunger Games. Thank you. The Hunger Games is happening, but it's elements of film. So it's like film genres competing against each other, and in a concept format, I could probably see that as a short, maybe. But this is just dick joke, boob joke. Like, there's two naked people from adult films. Yay! It's not funny. It's really, really bad. It is offensive, and I don't get offended at all. Like, hardly. People have to kind of rail me in sometimes. But
Mike's got the movie for you.
The Hungover Games, don't watch it. You probably already knew not to watch it. I'm the idiot who watched it. But I will give the movie one compliment. The guy who's doing an impression of Zach Galifianakis does a really good impression of Zach Galifianakis. That's it.
Awesome. They probably could have just gotten Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. On Fiverr.
Ugh, that sounds fucking atrocious. I'm glad I've never seen that either.
For $5, will you show up in this piece of shit movie?
Danny Mayo says he misses the old VGMX Jason. Are you saying that the new Jason isn't as cool as the old Jason? Or are you saying you miss old VGMX?
Oh, hate's real.
Max, what is your feature film?
Feature film, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
What's that?
Okay.
Yeah. Just so you know, if there's a nuclear bomb going off, you can just get into a fridge, an old fridge. You find yourself a 50s fridge. It's lined with lead, so you'll be fine. Let's not take into account the physics when you get blown 3 miles and land with no sort of shock absorption. But that's beside the point.
Dude, I clap for you on this one because this movie is trash. I hate this movie. Hate it.
And if making the fridge didn't lose you, you get a cool Shia LaBeouf Tarzan scene swinging with the monkeys. There's all kinds of just nuggety goodness in there for you to
nuggety goodness. Got some corn in there.
Yep. It's utterly absurd. It was the biggest disappointment because everyone was so excited to see Indiana Jones finally come back. The production is a joke. Like they. Every line like where this movie was made into coming into fruition is just bad. They make all the wrong decisions. Like every time they should turn right, they turn left, and it's just terrible. It was a terrible film and a sad addition to the Indiana Jones mythos, lore, whatever you want to call it.
Dan, what's your feature?
Okay, I need you guys to close your eyes and open your imaginations.
I don't close my eyes anymore, Dan.
All right. No Limit Records presents Michael Bay's vision of Stanley Kubrick's 2001.
It's just a nonstop explosion.
Pretty much. With Master P does the whole soundtrack.
Master P in space. Yes. Golden tank. Spaceship's a golden tank.
Someone hurt me.
I mean, Hal's going to be like a transformer. There's this shit blowing up for no reason everywhere.
I want to see that movie. Dan, your movie festival does not qualify as terrible movie.
Honestly, Dan, none of your movies sound terrible. Like, I would go see them. I would see those movies.
But these are terrible. I just want to see them.
But they're terribly good.
Okay, thank you. Tell me that after hearing Master P just go, the whole time.
Just bad that you love it.
The Room.
Highlander 2.
Have you ever seen a movie that's so just terrible? You're like, this is terrible, but I love it. That's what I feel like these films would be. Like, these are terrible, but I love them.
That's the space that Dan lives in. He loves because like for a movie to be bad for Dan, it doesn't have to be. It can't be terrible because he likes that when it's super bad and you can laugh at it and yada yada. But it can't be good, so it's got to just be like below mediocre is like a movie that Dan can't watch. You know,
real tight window.
Yeah, like it's really weird.
All right, it's not really weird. It's just mediocre is boring. See, it's good, it's bad. I can watch those. It's in the middle where it sucks.
All right, everybody. We will be back after these brief messages. The Three Geeks Podcast. Oh man, I love it. Trolls. God, we had one comment. I'm not going to get into it because it was really bad, but the guy, the overall arching thing was, he's like, I really like your podcast. And he said a whole bunch of mean things about us.
He got like super racist. Is that the one you're talking about? Or?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently I look Jewish, which I don't.
You got to forward me this comment because I need a good laugh. But
I deleted it, but I think I have a screenshot. But I'll send it to you.
He did the right thing where he went to the our group's black ambassador. And he was like, "Should we?" I left it up for a couple of days, but then we didn't end up talking about it that week. So I was just like, "We'll take it down."
And Max like, "Leave it up so we can discuss it." And then we forgot.
Yeah, it was super racist. But he was like, "You guys are cool if you weren't so black and Jewish and yada yada yada."
Damn.
Is anybody in this room Jewish?
Well, I mean, that time that you wore the yarmulke, Fuzzy was on here.
Oh.
I just remember waking up and seeing that comment. I think it was like 6:30 when I texted Max. I turned over to Liz. I'm like, Liz? She's like half asleep. I'm like, do I look Jewish? Like, no, I'm trying to sleep.
But he seriously, the first 3 sentences is all good stuff. You guys are doing good. I like you, blah blah blah. Except for
however,
black dude on there, and your bald Jewish guy sucks. It was just the most ridiculous thing, and I was like, man, like I'm
bringing you guys down because I don't know who John Hurt is.
Yeah, I mean, Rondell, with me and Rondell on here, like that was a 2 out of 5 is that's way too many black people, and then we got the Jews.
It's not even 3/5.
Keep spinning that racial wheel, buddy. You'll hit one of the right.
Damn Chinese on that podcast.
Yeah, exactly. The Korean guy's a jerk.
We are way too diverse. We need to whitewash this podcast a little bit more.
That's what I've been saying. But nobody listens. Oh man.
So, Colin Trevorrow, I guess the first movie he made before Jurassic World had some really good storytelling in it, and then when Jurassic World came out, they saw that he could, make a blockbuster and make money. So they figured the two of those together would turn out something well. And then, like Mike said, his last movie tanked, and with Leia dying, they've had to rework
What was his last
story.
movie? What was his last movie? It was called something Dark Side. I don't know.
Something murder.
I am looking into this. Max, your thoughts?
Yeah, get rid of this guy. Fuck that dude. Fucking Jurassic World. The movie sucked. Like, it's just Jurassic Park again. Fucking any fucking body can make Jurassic Park again.
No,
Steven Spielberg already made it. Like, all you gotta do is do the same shit. Oh no, our dinosaurs are bigger and badder.
This is Jurassic Park with a bunch of kids you don't want to know again, but stuck in a giant ball thing.
The Book of Henry is the name of the film.
The Book of Henry. I never even heard about this movie.
It's
Is
like
that like the sequel to the Book of Eli.
Yeah. No. The guy's deaf instead. Spoilers. Sorry. You go through the whole thing like people like screaming at him.
Henry.
Anybody.
Get your book.
Oh my God.
Don't forget your book, Henry. Oh God, it's a fucking book.
No, it's a drama film or something.
That's the end.
What's fascinating is, I guess.
See, I like in the movie too. Steve McQueen's first movie, big movie, I should say, Shame, with Michael Fassbender and Carey Mulligan.
Yep.
I waited to see that movie for a very long time. I finally got a chance to watch it. I was so disappointed because, again, all those people, I'm like, I hate all of you. I hope you all have horrible things happen to you. Because it's just like I got there was no investment because I'm like, Michael Fassbender, you and your penis, terrible. You're terrible people.
The moral of the story is, accept the fact that at some point in the future, Michael Fassbender is going to fuck each and every one of us. Like, that's
yeah. And by the way, if you haven't seen it, I literally feel like his penis should get top billing because you see it a lot in the movie.
What movie is this?
Shame.
The cowboy movie?
No. Shame, not Shane.
Shame.
Like, come back, Shane. Come back.
That's where I was at too, Max. I was like, Shane. Is that a John Wayne movie?
Shane, Uncut.
All right. Now, who's in this movie?
Besides John Wayne?
Yes, besides John Wayne.
Michael Fassbender.
You say Steve McQueen?
Steve McQueen's the director.
Oh, crap.
There's a second Steve McQueen.
There's a second Steve McQueen.
Okay.
The African American.
I'm like, what?
Not riding a motorcycle.
No, not.
God. I'm like, I'm stoned, but I'm not that stoned. Like, what the hell is going on right here?
But can I ask, Max?
Oh, yeah.
I just love that for half that description of the movie, Max thought it was Shane.
Yeah, dude, I'm flipping out, like, because I'm sitting here trying to figure out how Michael Fassbender was in Shane. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. How old is this dude? He looks amazing.
Well, it took the reboot in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
I was there too. I just didn't say anything because I didn't want to look stupid. Like, I guess he was in the movie.
No, it's better to understand than to worry about how stupid you look.
He was the kid at the end. That's like the comeback Shane. Yeah, see?
That was Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
And he took that message a little bit literally.
I'm not paying for this shit.
You know, like, no.
She's like, fuck this. In 6 years, I'm gonna be dating a Norse god. I'm out. I mean, yeah, I'd say that's a step up. But like, would you take Hayden Christensen or fucking Hemsworth?
I take Hemsworth. He looks like a cuddler.
You know?
Would you give him a telekinetic hand job?
We fucking wanted one.
Someone's trying to lift the hammer with their mind.
If he doesn't call his penis hammer now,
you are worthy.
So, thank you for watching this podcast.
We're ending on that.
Just to recap,
Can we not end on that, please?
I don't want to go.
if you enjoyed this episode, or if you'd rather us go back to just playing old episodes and just we can do that too.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Our Sunday viewers, you all just got a taste.
Who's next to lift the hammer?
Sing home.
It would be better because they can take a meeting. They're like regular and strong. You don't have to hold back.
Did you just use the phrase "take a beating" to describe a telekinetic hand job?
Yeah,
all of us at the Geeks Podcast have a great night. I'm going to end right here.
Hey everybody, it's John Orlando from the PVD Cast. Are you wondering where you can find my podcast? Well, it's real simple. Just go over to pvdcast.com, the online home of yours truly, or it's available through all of those major podcasting platforms. Just search for it in Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio app, and don't forget that every single Monday night at 8 o'clock, I do a live broadcast of the week's episode of the PVD Cast through the Facebook page Just go over to Facebook.com and search for @PVDcast and join me every Monday night at 8 p.m. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get on out of here. So I'll chat at each and every one of you later.
Hi, I'm Casper.
And I'm Becky Gremlin.
And we're the hosts of Don't Fuck With the Original.
We are a spoopy horror podcast that pretty much covers everything under the genre.
We cover haunted locations, we cover true crime, cryptids, movies, anything you can literally think of. We are all over it.
Everything spoopy.
On Wednesdays, and why?
Wednesdays are for podcast. Thanks, guys.
Jason, what's wrong, man? You seem to be a little bit down in the dumps.
I've just been searching the internet all day trying to find a podcast dedicated to Matlock, and I can't seem to find it.
What? Funny you mentioned that. I know of a podcast called Matt Talk, and it takes a look at every single episode of that beloved series and critiques it and reviews it, discusses it, even sometimes pokes fun at it. Wait a minute. We're the hosts of that.
That's right.
Yes, of course. Why? I don't understand why you forgot that. But nonetheless, folks, you can check out Matt Talk. We have a great Facebook page. It's @Matt Talk Podcast. You could get the episodes wherever you find podcast episodes. And we make it easy on you, don't we, Jason? Sometimes we just put the link for Anchor right there in the description of each announcement when an episode comes out. And all you got to do is click and listen. And Jason, where can folks get in touch with us if they want to comment, say on this silly commercial or on any episode of Matt Talk?
All you need to do is go to benmatttalk@gmail.com. You can drop us a line on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Twitter account coming soon. Get in contact with us.
There you go. And right now we have 8 episodes in the can. We got plenty more coming up. So check it out. We love Matlock. We certainly do. And so with that, we'll see you in the courtroom. Well, not literally, figuratively.
Bonjour tout le monde. It's Jesse Camacho, and you're listening to the Three Geeks Podcast.
And we're back.
You really need to cut off that last second of that fucking commercial.
Oh yeah, Chucky.
Oh Jesus.
Nice.
Children, capable children.
Oh my god.
I do want to say that
that commercial is fucking garbage.
Whatever. You know what? Go to hell.
We spent 2 hours on that.
Not figuratively, literally.
I mean, he does when he sees that commercial. I mean,
John and I are no longer the only Matlock podcast. There is another.
The fucking man, the people can be grabbing on your coattails when you have to put the hotness down. Like it's bound to happen. Like that's imitation is the highest form of flattery, and you guys should be
nice.
Unfortunately, they didn't have Linda Pearl on their episode that is
'cause
dropping
they fucking
tomorrow.
Suck.
How'd that go, by the way?
Linda Pearl was awesome.
What do you think, Chucky?
We talked to her about Happy Days. We talked about The Office, and of course, we talked about Matlock. We also talked to her a little bit about Heather O'Rourke, who was the little girl in Poltergeist, because she played her daughter on Happy Days for a season and a half, and that was really cool to find out more about her because she's no longer with us. But hello, Chucky, how are you today?
What's up, Chuck?
That is creeping me out.
Right?
Nice.
That's awesome. Did not expect that.
If I could get him to talk, but he doesn't.
All right, it's that time, guys. It's time. Let's get ready to remake.
Did I not give you the theme music?
This hurt me.
Will be the host today for this lovely edition of Remake Revolution. And why am I the host? Why isn't Mike the host? Or why isn't John the host? John is busy. He called off this morning. He's like, guys, I can't make the podcast. So we said, okay, John, we don't need you. So
he's doing his new job as a furniture salesman.
Because Mike is going up against Dan. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is creator versus Dan.
Oh, great.
And this is really impromptu as well because Dan and I were supposed to be a team originally, but we'll figure that out at another time. But yeah.
Fair enough.
So today's episode, and I came up with this, and honestly, when I pitched this as Plan B, I was like, I really want to see this episode now because The Wizard of Oz is one of my favorite movies of all time. I like Return to Oz. That movie scares the piss out of me, especially the little wheelie guys. And they are going to pitch a horror remake of The Wizard of Oz.
But it'll be more interesting because, yeah, Dan said he didn't realize it was going to be a horror remake. Right?
Yeah, I mean, mine will have horror elements, but it is not a horror movie.
So brace yourselves. These will be wildly different.
Horror elements or horrible elements?
Have you met Dan?
Today's
Probably
episode of
both.
Remake Revolution is brought to you by Taco Bell.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just
no.
kidding.
Just you, Tim.
I mean, I've had Taco Bell twice this week, so.
There's a whole
No,
different.
don't.
You haven't had Taco Bell like this.
We'll play it for you after the.
Yeah, we'll say it before afterwards.
I sent you and Becky examples of Remake Revolutions. One of them was Showgirls. And during the Showgirls commercial, they put on Taco Bell was running the Showgirls ad, and a couple of the guys actually made a Taco Bell commercial that ties into Showgirls. And they got tired of me playing it, so I can't play it today. Actually, I can. I can do whatever I want. I have all the control. But I'm not going to. I'm saving it for a rainy day.
Thank you, JT.
Maybe our Thanksgiving episode will be brought to you by Taco Bell. Who knows?
Okay.
Jesus.
Fair enough.
But anyway, that's not why you guys are here. Max is judging. After each category, I'm going to go to Casper and Justin, kind of get their input. Max can take that information however he wants to, but he doesn't have to, take their opinions into account. But I just want to make sure everybody's involved in this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And today I'm going to start with Mike. Mike, what is your pitch for The Wizard of Oz?
Okay. Well, since this was, I put together sort of a little summary and outline and stuff in the hour or so I knew I was going to be doing this. So just heads up, because this is a horror movie and it's going to get into some topical and some potentially triggering stuff. So just heads up here. I thought for my version of The Wizard of Oz to switch the focus and make the main character of Dorothy a person of color, while still keeping that same early 20th century setting, and that it'll explore not just horrific elements and horror and so forth, but also more parallels with regards to systemic racism and injustices in the real world and in Oz. And since it's horror, we can strip away any of the pretense that it's a fairy tale, explore what would probably really happen if Oz was ruled now by a white opportunist that established himself as a ruling power like the wizard. There is no good witch. The communities of Munchkinland and the Emerald City are all segregated and disenfranchised due to the wizard's callous rule. Our main creatures are more horrific to look at, but still retain sympathy and parallel kind of brutality that a lot of marginalized communities have experienced with regards to, people in positions of power. Like Scarecrow, for example, appears more like a stitched together corpse with some straw stuffing, taking more of a visage of, like, say, the Scarecrow from Batman the Animated Series as like a hanged man. The Tin Man is like flesh metal melds. His body keeps falling apart and it looks painful to be the Tin Man. The Lion has PTSD and scars from being abused and treated like a carnival sideshow freak. And getting to our main character, Dorothy, rural Kansas in the early 20th century is already not a pleasant place for her, since she is coming from a black family. She's an adventurous girl who dreams of bigger and better opportunities for her family, but reality is set against her. And the Gales are hounded and ostracized at every turn, with a campaign that's spearheaded by the pearl-clutching schoolmarm and all-around Karen, Miss Gulch. And one night, while a racist mob attempts to set fire to their small farm, a tornado blows through and transports Dorothy to Oz. But this isn't whimsical and friendly Oz. Majority of the populace, like I said, lives in bigotry and fear because the wizard hoards all of the good stuff for himself in the Emerald City. And also the outcasts are people like Scarecrow, Tin Man, and the Lion. And so Dorothy also encounters the witch. Like I said, there's no good witch, Glinda. The witch is just one character who appears to aid her with the help of some magic slippers, but all too soon it's made clear that she's actually using her as a means to usurp the wizard and take control of Oz for herself. And so it becomes sort of this race against the horrors of Oz, and also trying to get Dorothy back home to be with her family in an even crappier reality. But Toto's still a cute terrier, so that's a good thing at least.
Very, very. I enjoy the pitch so far. Dan, what is your pitch?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Battle Wizard of Oz. Okay. Turns out that Dorothy and her pet Toto, which is actually a giant spider, and the Tin Man, which is a cool robot, they're part of a refugee group flying spaceships from their planet Kansas. Space pirates come and they fire Dorothy off course into a black hole.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I admit defeat.
Oh wait, we're not even out of the prologue yet, sir.
I'm sorry. I just laughing.
Okay, I'm simply waiting for the judge to regain his composure.
Carry on.
Okay, Dorothy goes into a black hole and exits and crash lands onto Oz and one of the witches that are in a power struggle with the forces of the Wizard of Oz for the planet. This is a completely fantasy realm that she's landed on. Even though, you know, Dorothy has science and cool shit like that and a robot. The wizard has had a spell put on him, which makes him like sad and complacent and doesn't want to do shit while he lives in his throne room. While this council of witches try to take over with their genetic abominations made by a mad scientist that they have under their control. Dorothy then meets, hold on here. Oh, befriends one of the mutated creatures, the lion, and a living statue, the scarecrow, and help the forces of you know the wizard fight against the witches, because unbeknownst to them, they landed their spaceship on one of them, and now they're really pissed off. They wake the wizard, who then is an actual fucking wizard, and does awesome stuff and creates like a earthquake, which like takes out their main city and stuff. But he's still being, you know, old and complacent for so long. He still can't win until the rest of the refugee space force shows up and blows the shit out of all the bad guys. The end.
I got a question, Dan. I got a fact check.
Yes.
Since it's Oz, wouldn't it be an Ozquake, not an earthquake, because they're not on Earth?
Sure.
Terrible.
I mean, that's fine, but it's still Earth. They don't say you know, Dorothy sat down on the Oz and had a sandwich. It's still Earth, Jason.
On Oz, they would say that.
Yeah, because if you're leaving planet Kansas to
go to planet Oz, then on Oz, all of the Earth is technically Oz.
Anyway, Dan, have you had this pitch in your back pocket for a while? Because this is great.
No.
It just goes to Space Epic every time.
Only twice. The other times is the fucking musical. Someday it's going to be a Space Epic musical. But not today.
Max tries to get his thoughts on the two pitches. Casper, what did you think of the two pitches starting out?
I like each one over the other one for different reasons. I really like Mike's pitch because I feel like that's something that we need more of, are movies like that really show. First of all, we need more movies with people of color, basically, showing hardships that they went through and stuff like that without it being too much, if that makes sense. But I really do like that pitch because I really do think that people need to see stuff like as more of a serious note. Dan's pitch I love because that sounds like that could be probably one of the most epic horror comedies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I don't even really like The Wizard of Oz. So, I would give it a real shot.
Justin, what did you think of the pitches?
I enjoyed both of them. Mike seems like a nice, neat ball of plot, and then you have this bombastic Dan plot of space epic in Kansas and Oz and intergalactic plot lines. I don't know how you're going to.
Toto's a spider in Dan's movie.
Yeah. You get bit by Toto, you might be dead.
Yeah. I kind of like that idea. Giant space spider named Toto.
If Toto's
tarantula.
In battle.
In my movie, it would have been Toto. Toto would be the band Toto.
But they're too busy scoring the new Dune in my mind.
That
So.
right there wins.
All right, Max, you good for this
Yeah,
round?
yeah,
Okay,
we're
all right. Dan, start us off with cast.
Okay, I got a pretty.
Which way we go next? Is it writer or director?
Sure.
Writer or director. Sorry, Dan. Take us to writer.
Can we go with cast first?
Jason's the host.
No. Okay.
Cast first. That's
Oh my
fine.
god.
Okay.
Pivoting.
For Dorothy, first of all, I got Bella Ramsey, who you may not recognize by name, but she's Lady Mormont from Game of Thrones.
That's a good one.
Because nobody shrinks, the wizard's balls like Lady Mormont. So.
Oh, holy God! Yeah, that's an intimidating.
Tell Percy it was me.
Then for the witches, I've got Judi Dench, which is the one that she lands on. See, we're gonna do like a Scream kind of thing where you're gonna say Judi Dench is in this movie, and she's just gonna turn around and get slaughtered. You got Kathy Bates, Mindy Kaling, and Kate McKinnon.
All right.
For the mad scientist, Brad Dourif.
All right, hold on one second.
Okay, sorry.
I like the idea of Brad Dourif.
Who is that?
He played Chucky.
Chucky.
Yeah. He was also in the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay. All right.
I will always know him as Peter DeVries. So best death scene ever.
For the witches,
he's a Griemer Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dan, who were the witches again?
After Mindy Kaling.
Oh, the witches were Kathy Bates, Judi Dench, the one that dies, Kate McKinnon, and Mindy Kaling. I'm gonna have Tom Holland.
Wizard?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh no! Chucky's the mad scientist. Who makes all the weird shit. As the wizard, I'm having Gary Oldman
Nice.
because you can't go wrong with Gary Oldman, and I need him in more weird ass roles. I'm gonna have Tom Holland voice the lion, which is totally CGI. He's just one of the mad scientist's weird amalgamations of creatures. Vin Diesel is going to voice the Tin Man robot.
Is that calling back to him in a movie?
Yeah. And I'm gonna have Benedict Cumberbatch as the Scarecrow.
That's spot on casting. It really is. I like that. I could see Benedict Cumberbatch even singing like in the original Wizard of Oz. If I only had a brain. Do, 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 do.
But see, they're not happy in this version. I mean, he's a giant statue monster who just crushes things. And you're of course you're gonna have the CGI flying monkeys, but you're gonna have like a whole range of goofy ass CGI monsters to fight against the Munchkins and the Wizard's Guard. You see.
All right. Any other casting choices?
That's all I got.
Okay, cool.
Mike.
Okay, so for cast, for Dorothy Gale, I got Jada Harris. That name might not be familiar to a lot of you. She plays the little girl in Lovecraft Country. Just because if you watch Lovecraft Country, these past the last couple of episodes, like she really stepped up and is pretty badass actually. So I was just like, you know what? That's a young talent that could really portray this girl's plight in my movie pretty well. And I basically in a lot of my cast, of course, these are going to be a lot of people of color in the main roles and so forth to kind of hit home this allegory. For the Scarecrow, I chose Tessa Thompson as the Scarecrow, just because I just have this image of like her giving a wide-eyed stare, ahead, and she's got like the stitched up face and things like that. That I think that'd be kind of a cool visual. For the Tin Man, he's got to be this imposing figure, but still can portray some vulnerability as pieces of him are like falling off and stuff like that. I chose Winston Duke as the Tin Man.
Nice.
For my Cowardly Lion, who's going to be a mixture, it'll be a better version of what Cats was trying to do, a more polished version. I mean, it'll still be horrific like Cats, but this time intentionally so.
It's meant to be.
It's meant to be horrific because it's a PTSD lion creature. But for Cowardly Lion, I'll have Keegan Michael Key because I actually think like he has some serious dramatic chops that we have yet to really see because he's always relegated to doing a lot of more comedic and friend of the main character type stuff.
All right,
and so,
Ron.
yeah, exactly. But I'd like to actually see him take a dramatic turn, which I think he could do. For the Witch, which will also be Miss Elmira Gulch, since that was a dual role too, I have Elizabeth Moss because we know she can do kind of that sweet face and things like that. She made a living off that in Mad Men at the beginning, but she can also do demented and messed up as well. All she has to do is flip on her Scientology mind and she'll be a monster. So for the Wizard, I got Dr. Manhattan himself, Billy Crudup, because I can see him being my type of wizard in this movie, which is a very sniveling, opportunistic asshole. So, and finally, I have two special guest appearances. Uncle Henry and Auntie M will be played by Michael K. Williams and Vivica A. Fox.
Nice.
So that is my Uncle Henry and Auntie M.
Is it Michael K. Williams and Vivica Fox?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Very different casts. I like this. There's no overlap with the cast, which usually we have overlap. So.
No.
Well, considering they were told to make two different movies.
Yeah.
No, they both read the same text I saw.
No, but like,
yeah.
As far as they're concerned,
okay.
Like Dan didn't hear the horror part at all, so he was told to make an entirely different movie than Mike is making.
I think this is the movie Dan would have made anyway.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cast
Just wait.
Cast choices.
I mean, I think they're on point. I think they're absolutely on point for each character. I think the two that really stood out to me, of course, Brad Dourif for obvious reasons, but I think him playing a mad scientist and creating weird shit, I think that's perfect for something for him. And Tessa Thompson playing the Scarecrow, I'm all about that. I love that choice. I love her and everything she does anyway. So,
Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt real quick. Mike, quick question: are you doing CGI monkeys, or are you doing prosthetics?
Much with the Cowardly Lion, it will be like a combination of like CGI and practical, like because I do like that balance more than just like, hey, it's a cartoon monkey. Clearly.
All right. Cool.
So no Crystal Skull monkeys.
Oh God.
Justin, do you have thoughts on the cast?
Better.
You have a thought? You go. You're good. I really love Winston Duke though. I think he can do whatever he wants. In Us and in the Black Panther series, like I really enjoy everything he's done. So I think that's a great.
I like Elizabeth Moss as an actor a lot.
M'Baku is my dude. Like
M'Baku. Yeah, great.
I fox with M'Baku.
And I agree with Dan about Gary Oldman. I want to see him in as many things as I possibly can for Gary Oldman. I'm a big fan of Gary Oldman. So that's my thought.
All right, Max, how you doing over there?
Almost done.
All right. Do. I'm just gonna sing when there's dead
Well,
silence.
what do you think, Jason? Say something.
I did.
Yeah,
Elizabeth Moss was great. I love her as an actress.
I kind of want to shove Dan's plot into a spaceship, make it the horror theme, like make it Aliens, but Wizard of Oz. Like you're just trapped
closed
in space with a power.
Well, I mean, there can always be a sequel. Dude, there's what?
The real horror is the sequel.
Yeah, okay. There's 15 Oz books, guys. Like,
yeah, you can pull a lot of material from them. I'm curious, Dan. This is my question for you. Gary Oldman, though, is he going to be whimsically British Gary Oldman, or is he going to go for an accent, American accent?
Well, I want him like caked in like the yucky pancake makeup and stuff when he's all like sad and like sitting in his throne, not doing shit, feeling sorry for himself. And then when he rises up, he has to be like British, but kind of like a happy Zorg British.
It's like a Lord of the Rings esque. So.
I was about to ask you if
very
you
Lord of the Rings esque.
Zorg. I was about to ask you if Zorg was going to play into it.
I fucking love Zorg. So yes.
My Pets Are Weird says that they like Dan's plot.
Interesting.
That is an interesting, combination. All right, Max, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right, let's get into the writer and director. Mike, who is writing and directing this fantastic film?
Okay, so for this one, for the writer, I went with Misha Green. Misha Green is the showrunner and the head writer of Lovecraft Country. So I just thought, like, you know what? This actually feels a lot kind of like that show, what I'm building my plot around. So it's like, might as well get the person who was able to do it. And so she is my writer. My director is Nia DaCosta. She did this crime thriller with Tessa Thompson, actually, so that's also a tie-in there called Little Woods that I really liked. But also she's done the Candyman remake, which has unfortunately been delayed, but I was really looking forward to watching. And based off of just kind of like the trailer, but also the little puppet show theater thing she did for it. Like there was just this demented, whimsical nature to it that really kind of hammered home the theme she was trying to get across in Candyman. I'm like, I want that kind of energy, but not just with shadow puppets, with actual flesh and blood people, and I think that could work. So Misha Green as writer, Nia DaCosta as director.
All right. Dan?
Okay. Seeing as this is a, going to be a giant money vacuum. I need giant names for this. So we're going to bring in Neil Gaiman as an art director. I'm going to have Guillermo del Toro be the writer. And if you're doing a giant sweeping epic, nobody knows, more about that than Peter Jackson as director. Keep in mind, he also did Dead Alive. So he's not afraid of blood flying everywhere too. So I'm guessing there's going to be a PG-13 and then an R or unrated home video cut. Also, as action director, I want to bring in I don't know how to say his last name, but Chad Stahelski, the dude who did the John Wick movies.
Yeah.
Because I think like Lord of the Rings battles needed a little more. Yes.
Spell Stalski.
Stahalski. I think the Lord of the Rings kind of battles needs a bit more punch, and I think he can definitely do that. So yeah, I mean, there you go.
All right, I'm good.
Awesome. Yeah, my hot take of the day is The Frighteners is Peter Jackson's best movie, at least in my opinion, that I like to watch the most.
What, you didn't like King Kong?
No. But I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan.
5 hours of King Kong.
Of all the movies to pick.
Most people would say Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna say Dead Alive, so whatever.
I haven't been able to stay awake for a Lord of the Rings movie, except for the
Really?
first one.
I love those movies.
I watched all 3 of the extended cuts back to back one time, and I have not watched any Lord of the Rings since then. I've been broken.
Oh.
That's a long binge.
Yeah, no, it's 12 hours. Like
it's close to that, yeah.
All right, Casper,
Anyway,
Justin, what are your guys' thoughts on their picks for writers, directors, and all the extra directors Dan has?
I only have one extra director.
Well, to Mike's point, I really enjoy all the stuff from Lovecraft Country. So I would love to see a 2-hour or 3-hour version of that. And I love Guillermo del Toro. And what was his other director? The other side one? Neil Gaiman, art piece. I love it. I love American God.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed the Sandman comic.
Check out Monthly Pull here on Sandman.
I enjoy both directors that they get and the whole supporting cast.
Casper, any thoughts?
I agree with everything you said. These are definitely 2 movies I would see. That's for sure.
This is probably going to be the roughest judging that I've had to do. Because, I mean, and someone did make the comment that they like Dan's movie with Mike's cast, but it's like, it's really hard
to separate.
Yeah, so like once, like if I'm picking someone, it's like, which movie overall do I want to see better?
I think you have to kind of look at it at the point of like, just what appeals to you more just from a casting standpoint or, and just separate them at that point.
Because normally, it's like, okay, I'll pick this cast or I'll pick that cast and I'll pick this plot and I'll pick that plot. But like, you can't use Dan's cast in Mike's plot.
Yeah.
Wait, why not?
Going back
to really, because there's something systemically wrong with that.
Going back to our greatest moment.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like a movie called Loretta or whatever, Laquisha.
I think in this case, Max, since they are such 2 different visions, you'll just have to be like, I like this pitch better, but I like this cast a lot. The ensemble and just delegate points.
At least Max is the judge on this one to be like, I like Mike's plot, but I'm gonna whitewash it with Dan.
We're gonna call back to our previous commercial.
Yeah, for sure. I'm good.
All right. So Dan, what is your marketing campaign for this acid trip that you're taking?
I mean, this has to be huge, right? So you're gonna have to have like video games. I'm gonna say we're gonna make an MMO for it. It's just like Dorothy's Fun Times in Oz, the MMO where you just like wander around and slaughter various animal monstrosities. Let's see. This is always the part I never really think about until now. But we're not doing a Taco Bell thing though. Not this time. No. This gets a Burger King one.
Add to the horror.
They can make like fuzzy Whoppers for like you can have 4 different meals. You can have the Scarecrow, the Lion, the Tin Man, and the Dorothy meal.
All right. It's full of oil.
Let's see. I mean, you got to have toys, all kinds of toys, and I mean, you're gonna have spaceships and fantasy stuff, plus all the play sets. Like you could have the Emerald City Earthquake playset. But yeah, it's going to be just a giant multimedia thing. You got to have games. We're gonna sell the soundtracks because you got to have like somebody gigantic for that, like John Williams or something. Yeah, it's going to be a cultural phenomenon.
All right. I'm assuming the dog in the background agreed with you, Dan. So.
I am honestly just relieved that Dan didn't pick like Popeyes as his marketing campaign, and then Max is trying to pick the movies with.
Oh, damn it!
Marketing.
Oh man. As far as your cultural revolution, Dan, I'm not sure I want to be part of that culture. All right,
but you see, it washes all racism away just by being. No one cares about that anymore. They just all care about the Wizard of Oz.
Consume Wizard of Oz.
Yes, that is what you must do.
The thing I hate most about these games, and a future to the chat cave, check it out. I'm not going to tell you what it was. Is hearing these pitches for movies. It makes me want to see these movies, and I really want to see Dan's movie and play that MMO.
See, I mean, Jason is already sold.
I'm in on Dan's festival, and I'm in on Dan's everything.
I wonder why.
Anyway. Jesus Christ, Hollywood, hire me.
All right, Mike, marketing.
Yeah. So obviously, I don't know if my idea really was one to sell to kids or that'll get a huge toy line going. I definitely want some McFarlane toys of like the main cast because McFarlane toys have that great attention to detail, or NECA maybe one of those figure lines. One of the lines that really does like more figures for the grown-ups and so forth, because I feel they could be really cool design-wise to have on display for you. In terms of like trailers and stuff like that, I got to go with it. I know it's a very cynical thing, especially in this day and age to do, but I'm going to do a trailer with a slow piano haunting version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, obviously. I know it's probably already been done to death many times for other horror movies, but this is the ultimate horror movie that it should be made for. So it'll be something like that. I would have sort of this viral marketing where sections of streets would be spray painted yellow. And then as people are walking down them, you would also see maybe like posters and things like that of some of the more horrific creatures from the movie as they kind of walk along, maybe in like the Alphabet City or something like that, someplace with a lot of those types of streets. And finally, there was one other thing. I wanted to have like in the theaters, sometimes they would do this for movies back in the day. They'd have like little booklets about the movie and about the cast, a little bit of a prep material for the audience. I would have that, but it would be done in the style of the original Baum novels with the illustrations and things like that from 1900, but done with my version of the characters. So it's a really demented looking like novelization of the Baum material, but it's actually just like a little promo thing about all the characters. So
I want to see Mike's movie too. I didn't specify that before, but I especially want to hear that remake of Somewhere Over the Rainbow
by Godsmack.
Oh yes.
God damn it, Dan.
There it is. Greatest cover band in the world.
Oh,
there's a one chord version of that one.
Greatest cover band in the world.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
I mean, there's some way you can tie voodoo into this. I mean, I know.
Yeah, see? It's got to be,
All right, I'm good on the marketing.
All right, let's go to music. So speaking of Godsmack, Mike, what kind of music do you have in this movie besides creepy Wizard of Oz theme?
I really kind of like what this one composer, Harry Gregson Williams, does. He does music for quite a few shows and movies and so forth. And I've heard him do some really more demented type of soundtracks and scores. I wouldn't necessarily have a huge like pop or whatchamacallit, a song-driven soundtrack. It would probably be more dependent on, just ambient and music and score. But it'd be interesting. That'd be interesting themes that would probably incorporate a little bit more of like modern hip-hop sensibilities, perhaps a little bit of some like more thumping bass at times for the villains and things like that. But yeah, that is my idea for score or music.
Dan?
Main score, I want for the main score, I want John Williams. However, for the mutant animals, I want some pieces by Michael Kamen. And for the witches, I want Howard Shore.
All right. That's quick. All right, Max, you get to take the time right now to figure out the winner. I do not envy you at all, and I'm going to ask everybody who they think, in their eyes, the winner would be. Justin.
I don't have a winner because it's so different in terms of movies. Like,
there's 5 categories, Justin.
Hey, come on, man.
That's 5 points. You could divide it
in half. I can do 2.5 and 2.5. Cast, I would give probably to Dan. Only because it's plot, I would give to Mike because I want to be scared. It's Halloween.
All right. Justin's whitewashing Mike's movie.
Listen.
Good job, Justin.
You're the one that brought it up.
Whoa, Justin. Whoa. The thoughts of Justin are not those of the Three Geeks Podcast and its sponsors and affiliates.
Sponsors and affiliates.
Music. I would probably go with. I love John Williams, so we'll go with that. And the promotion piece, I would go with Mike. The yellow streets. I hate you so much, Jason. The palpable hatred I have for you is real.
Aww.
What's the directors and stuff? I have to go Neil Gaiman.
I was honestly expecting Mike to say Jordan Peele because the pitch of the movie, the cast, and everything just in my mind popped out Jordan Peele.
I was also thinking like since it's Dorothy female centric. Yeah, let's get some female writers in there because.
Casper, what do you got? Which movie do you want to see the most in each category? Which ones do you like?
As much as I love dance, the entire pitch, plot, music, director and writer, cast, and what was the other one?
Marketing, music.
Marketing. I have a mic. That sounds like a really, really, really dope movie, and I lean more toward psychological horror than I do comedy horror, as much as I love it. So since I love everything about Dan's, I have to go with every single one of Mike's pitches.
Oh,
I think Mike's movie's winning an Oscar, and I think Dan's movie I'm going to see more than once in a theater.
Exactly.
I feel like Mike's movie would actually not be snubbed. I feel like he would get an in the Oscar, just like Jordan Peele did. Like, sounds like a film.
Yeah. See, I take Dan's plot with.
So this is coming out tomorrow, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm in the middle of pre-production.
This is great.
It's just being edited. It'll come out tomorrow.
I do want to see Dan's movie with Mike's cast, Mike's director, and Dan's marketing campaign with a little bit of both of their music.
All right.
See, okay, you just bitched at Justin for not picking a winner.
You spent a whole 5 fucking minutes yelling at me, and you're being an asshole.
Yeah, really.
I was saying if I could get away with it because I worded it differently.
And you whitewashed Justin's whole pitch. So
for shame, Jason. Jeez.
Yeah.
Max has got a winner.
All right.
Okay, now I gotta say, this is the hardest one I've had to judge. This is even more difficult to judge than the Showgirls fiasco.
Whoa. Showgirls was not a fiasco.
That was a fucking disaster.
Kristen,
No, that was awesome. What are you talking about?
Cass, well, let me just say that these guys, when they did Showgirls,
You call me Kristen, it's fine.
they wrote actual scripts for these movies.
Yeah,
like they came ready to play. And oh my god, marketing was insane.
Yeah, leaving that alone.
Script. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Anyway, this is hard, but for a wholly different reason. But the Showgirls one is the hardest one I've had to judge just because of the craziness of it. This one is hard because they're both really solid flicks. Like I want to kudos to both of you. This is really, really good, especially for like not a whole lot of prep time. I'm very impressed with both of you, and you should whoever's the loser here, don't feel bad because like it's just it's like comparing LeBron James to Michael Jordan. Like what are you gonna do?
Well, don't tell us how to feel.
Yeah, really, jeez.
As soon as this is over, I'm calling Larry Hankin. I'm pitching both of these.
Yes. All right. So for the pitch, I gotta go with Mike's pitch. I think it's important, and that's the only reason is because like he's touched on something that I feel is actually important right now. Dan, your pitch is great. It's
mutant
great.
Animals aren't important, Max.
But Mike did touch on something that I think we as a people need right now, and it's the Dorothy being black and and having to deal with the struggle of that on top of going to Donald Trump's Wonderland is just is really good. I really like that. So Mike, you win the pitch. That being said, obviously, Cast has got to go in right after that.
Oh no!
Cast is going to. I'm not gonna whitewash the movie. Dan's cast is amazing. Dan, your cast is fucking amazing. I love all your witches. Your pick for the witches are awesome. The only problem I really had was Vin Diesel. I would just not hire him to do anything really. But
he's just voicing a robot.
Yeah, but I'm tired of he does Groot. I'm tired of Vin Diesel's. I'm just tired of that dude.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was your main thing, and the CGI monkeys. I really would rather have more practical. I think it looks a lot better as practical. It works for your movie, so not detracting, but that's where it lost me.
Okay.
So yeah. So when Mike said he's doing more, cats, monkeys, but I'm more for that than I am for just straight up CGI.
But do they have buttholes?
Yes.
That's important.
No, they have red baboon butts.
Oh, okay.
But all right, so cast goes to Mike. But again, it's very, very close. And Dan, your cast is awesome. I mean, Gary Oldman, Judi Dench, Kathy Bates. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, that's. All right, for director, I went with Dan's group. But I'm gonna sub out. I'm gonna sub out your actual director for Mike's director. But since you have 8 other people there that I would love to see working on the film, which I really think would help Mike's aesthetic of his film, you win, Dan. But you got to get out of here. But
what? No.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro, Neil Gaiman. That is what's up with John Wick action. I'm down. I'm 100% down for that. So Dan, you win director. For music. Who did I pick for music? Did I not write this down? All right, Dan. Dan,
Yo.
you with music. I'm just not even really sure of who Mike picked. Maybe if I like actually heard some of the stuff that these guys made.
Yeah. I picked.
What do you want?
I picked an unknown.
Oh, okay. Oh, Mike's are unknown. Okay.
So yeah, Dan, we're gonna go with your score. You can't go wrong with John Williams. Like, what do you do? You know, like that's gonna win 2 Oscars just because his name's on it. So, so we're gonna go with Dan's pick for music, but that leaves marketing. And for the winner, I'm gonna have to go with Mike's marketing. Because I like the painting, like actually painting the streets gold and having like, you know, like that sort of real world feel to it. I like the McFarlane toys. I think when Dan said he was having toys made, I was waiting for him to say it, and he didn't. So that was kind of.
Oh no, I'm getting a cheap ass company to make all of my shit. It's fine.
So like that, because I mean, you both had toys, but like I'm like, if he can get, because McFarlane does obviously like Spawn and all that's the horror stuff.
Yeah.
So the toys are going to be real cool. And then yeah, obviously the obligatory Over the Rainbow trailer, like, you know, that's got to happen. So I feel like, oh, actually, you know what really sold me was the little booklets you said you'd hand out that had the old school feel to them. That was something that, you know, like that's outside of the box. And you know, even printing something nowadays is kind of like you don't really do that anymore. So to have, you know, like a real something you can grasp to go with the movie, I think would be really cool. So I mean, it came down to it. You guys are awesome. This is really hard. This is really hard. I mean, like, but Dan, like, I want to see your movie. I do. I don't feel like I'm against your movie. It's just that I think Mike's movie needs to happen versus what I want to happen. You know, it
Well, okay. This is how it goes. See, Mike's movie is more topical, so that's big right now.
Yeah.
And then when all of the social bad things go away, mine lives on forever.
It's not the movie we need right now, but it's the one we deserve.
Yes.
All right. So congratulations to Mike on the Wizard of Oz battle. It's a good win, man. You should be very proud of your movie. I'm excited to see it.
I'm excited to see any and all of these movies we put together on this.
Pretty much.
Game.
I mean,
it's like even the really out there pitches. Like, I'm always excited. Like, so yeah, I hope we get to that point, Dan, where we can see Space Wizard Oldman.
Space Wizard Oldman. Well, no, that's the sequel, dude. He's on Oz now. he just hijacks his ship for part 2.
Well, I don't know how we follow that up with anything else. So go to youtube.com/Mike McGTV. Check out all of the wonderful stuff Mike has coming up. Like I said, there is a wonderful pitch for a Batman movie on the upcoming To the Chat Cave. Check it out. Check out Casper.
I would exactly call it wonderful.
Check out Casper and the Don't Fuck With the Original podcast. All things horror, true crime. It's a great show. I listen to it every week. Definitely check it out. And from all of us, have a great day. Stick around to the end, Casper, and we'll talk.
Recycling.
Yeah.